The Trojan War's origins lie in the judgment of Paris, a divine contest between Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. Paris, a Trojan prince, was tasked to award a golden apple to the fairest goddess. Aphrodite's bribe, the love of Helen, Sparta's queen, set the stage for war. This myth reflects Bronze Age themes of divine rivalry and mortal folly. Archaeologists note that such stories often encoded real diplomatic tensions, as seen in Hittite-Egyptian conflicts over brides. Helen's abduction by Paris is mythologized as a romantic escapade, but linear B tablets from Pylos reveal Bronze Age diplomacy often fractured over royal marriages. The abduction may symbolize a breach of xenia, guest friendship, or a political alliance gone awry. Notably, Hittite records mention a Wilusa, Troy conflict involving a runaway queen, paralleling Helen's story. This blurring of myth and history underscores how legends encode real geopolitical strife. Homer's heroes, Achilles, Odysseus, Agamemnon, likely reflect exaggerated memories of Mycenaean warlords. Archaeology confirms their world. Boar's tusk helmets found in Thebes match Homer's descriptions, while palace frescoes at Pylos depict chariot warfare. The catalogue of ships in the Iliad may preserve actual late Bronze Age political geography, as names align with linear B records. These warriors weren't demigods, but elite fighters in a fragile network of rival kingdoms. Troy's impenetrable walls were real. Excavations at Hisarlik reveal 5-meter-thick limestone foundations from Troy 6/7, 1300 to 1180 BCE, the likely Homeric era. These walls with angled bastions resisted sieges for centuries. Yet earthquake damage c. 1250 BCE matches myths of Poseidon shaking Troy, a possible conflation of natural disaster and invasion. The citadel controlled the Dardanelles, a vital Bronze Age trade route, making its conquest strategically plausible. The mythic 10-year siege may compress Troy's protracted decline. Stratigraphy at Hisarlik shows repeated destruction layers, fire, weapons, spanning decades. Bronze Age collapse trade records reveal Troy's isolation as Hittite and Mycenaean powers fractured. The war might symbolize systemic collapse. Climate change, dendrochronology shows droughts, pirate raids, and migration pressures, all reframed by Homer as a heroic struggle. Homer's gods personify forces behind Troy's fall. Poseidon's earthquakes, Hisarlik's Troy 6 shows seismic damage, c. 1250 BCE. Apollo's plague, climate data reveals droughts preceding the late Bronze Age collapse. Athena's wisdom may reflect Mycenaean tactical innovations, like the Trojan horse, possibly a metaphor for siege engines or seismic cracks breaching walls. These myths rationalized catastrophes too vast for mortals to comprehend. The Trojan horse likely never existed as depicted. Theories suggest it symbolized 1. A siege tower. Assyrian records described wheeled rams. 2. A earthquake. Horse equals Poseidon's animal. Or 3. A covert raid during Troy's Apollo festival when gates opened. Notably, Hittite texts mention sea people using deception, a possible parallel. Homer's horse endures because it encapsulates the war's essence, guile over brute force. Troy's fall in myth, flames, Neoptolemus killing Priam, mirrors archaeology. Hisarlik's Troy 7a, 1180 BCE, shows fire marks, bronze arrowheads lodged in walls, and a mass grave with trauma injuries. Yet no Trojan horse evidence exists. Destruction was likely gradual. Aeneas's escape aligns with Hittite records of Trojans relocating, suggesting survivors integrated into new societies, as Virgil later romanticized. The Odyssey's wandering heroes reflect Mycenae's collapse, c. 1100 BCE. Archaeology shows palaces like Pylos burned, literacy, linear B lost, and population decline. Odysseus's lost voyage may symbolize Bronze Age navigators displaced by Phoenician competition. Agamemnon's murder at home aligns with evidence of elite unrest. This era birthed oral traditions later codified by Homer, a nostalgia for lost glory. The Trojan War's legacy transcends myth. Alexander carried the Iliad, seeking Achilles' glory. Rome traced its ancestry to Aeneas, legitimizing empire. Schliemann's 1870s digs, though flawed, pioneered archaeology. Today, Hisarlik's UNESCO-listed ruins remind us how stories shape history. The war's themes, pride, fate, the cost of war, remain universal, proving some truths are timeless even if the horse wasn't.